Hey, all right. So if you're doing over $50K per month in your e-commerce store and you want to scale that to 200K per month, this is going to be the steps and processes that's going to make you get there. And yes, you might be doing 50K. Yes, you might be doing 100K. Yes, you might be doing 200K per month. But that is in revenue. What is the profits, right? We want to switch our mindset here, okay? How can we make sure that you are returning more of your revenue into actual profits, all right? Because cash flow is a big issue for a lot of e-commerce brands out there. So how can we solve that problem? And first off, who am I, right? I am Gard. I run a digital marketing agency where we operate more as a growth partner for our e-commerce clients, our e-commerce brands that we work with currently today. I have now worked with a little bit over 150 different brands in all over the world. We're spending around $1 million $1 million per month on advertising. So we feel like we have a decent understanding of what works today and what does not work. All right. So the first thing you need to be doing is going to be always the most important thing, which is the basics. Do more of what is working, do it better, and then test new things. All right. So the first thing, what initially got you to that 50K or 60K or 20K, whatever you're doing at this current rate, is keep doing more of what is working. So if UGC content with influencers through Facebook ads or Snapchat ads, that is what got you there in the first place, keep doing that. Don't stop doing that, all right? But it's about doing more, right? If you can do 10x more influencers, 20x, 30x, whatever, more influencers, more content, more videos, more longer videos, more shorter videos, more quick videos with quick edits, more professional videos, more amateur videos where you just set up the camera and just talk about a specific problem and how your product is the solution to that problem. So the first thing you need to be doing is just doing more of what is already working and doing it better, right? You don't even need to test new things yet. Until you're at least at 1 million euros per month, there is a huge potential for you to scale within the most niches, if you're not in a very specific niche, of course, right? But the most important thing is for you to do more of what is working, do it better, and then later test new things, all right? Because you can already squeeze out and maximize that potential a lot. Look at your ad accounts, look at what you've been testing. How much are you currently testing? How much content are you currently producing? Are you on TikTok? Are you on Snapchat? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram? Are you on Google? Are you on Pinterest? We see, for example, a lot of brands that are doing crazy numbers on Pinterest, but of course, it really depends on your niche. It really depends on your market and where you are at right now. All right, so that's going to be the first thing. Do more of what is working, do it better, and then also test new things. New things that is close to the winning concepts that what you're actually doing already, right? So what I mean by that, for example, if you have already a winning image, a winning creative, all right, let's test more of that creative, but with a slight different hook, a little new hook, a little new influencer in the video, a little new colors, maybe a new fonts or something like that. It has to be something that differentiates you from the other winning ads as well, but it still has that same winning concept. This is going to allow you to scale, this is going to allow you to test more, and this is also going to allow you to keep up the level of the return on ad spend that you have. Because if you're not testing new things every day, and I mean every day, right, you will not manage to keep up the return on ad spend, the profit on your ad spend that what you're currently doing right now, right? So that's going to be the first thing. The second thing, which is the number one problem for you e-commerce brands that are doing over 50K per month, is tracking. It's very hard now to understand exactly what to do next, where to reinvest your money. You should know exactly what got you there, but what is really hard now is actually understanding what is the true return on ad spend here. Right? Because now you're at 50K per month. Now you have a lot of loyal customers. You have a lot of happy customers that are coming from different platforms. Some come through Facebook. Some come through organic search. Some come through your great SEO. Some come through Snapchat. Some come through email marketing, right? Some come through direct search. So now for you to really find out and track down where new customers come in and what is the retention rate, which we are going to go and dive deeper on a little bit later on, it's going to be even harder. And this is where most e-commerce brands mess up. because they're struggling to find out what is that true ROAS, what is the true return on ad spend on your Meta platforms, on your Google platforms, because Meta and Google is now lying to you. Any person that has any form of marketing understanding can go into your brand and get a 10x return on ad spend with a low ad spend. What I mean by that is that a lot of you e-commerce brands are advertising towards customers that are going to buy either way, right? And the reason why is because of the 7-day click attribution on Facebook, and also the reason why is also because of the 30-day click attribution on Google. So what does that mean? That means is, let's say if I clicked on your Google ad the 1st of February, and I go and make a purchase the 30th of February, that counts on that return on ad spend. That will show on the statistics of your advertising accounts. And would you say, this is a question to you, would you say that that return on ad spend counted, that purchase counted for that ad that you set up? Probably not. Probably, right? So you must understand exactly, is the return on ad spend there actually real? Okay, and for you to solve this problem, you need a tracking software, you need an attribution software. And I know a lot of you e-commerce brands, that some of you guys that are going to be watching this already be using this, but if you don't, you need to be using a software called Triple Whale, or you need to be using a software called Northbeam. The reason why you need to use these two is because you're going to get a higher chance of tracking better, right? A lot of you guys, a lot of these e-commerce brands are using Google Analytics, which is completely fine, but it's not going to help you out to generate you the best results. It's not going to give you the right numbers. And also, it's better to have different sources to look at. If you can look at Google Analytics, you can look at Triple Whale, you can look at the Meta ad account, you can look at the Google ad account, you can look at the website. What is Shopify saying? What is WooCommerce saying, right? The more sources you have, the better it is. Now you can look at all the sources that you have. You can take your team and then decide what to do next. Where should we spend our money? Where should we invest our resources? Where should we invest our time, right? Where should you invest your time for your brand to grow faster, better, and also increasing your profits here, all right? So you need to invest in this, and then also you need to understand the exact customer journey of your new customers, and how much does a new customer cost you, and how long does that customer stay? What's the lifetime value of the customer? If you can understand these things, then you're going to have a higher chance of actually scaling. Because let's say when you start to scale up, the cost per new customer gets slightly higher, which is very normal, right? You're going to be spending more money. It costs more money to get more new customers through the door, because Facebook or Google is struggling to find more new customers. So you have to constantly get new content, new variations, new offers, new landing pages, and we're going to dive more into that. But you need to understand the exact customer journey that a new customer takes. What does these new customers, where do they come from? Which journey do they take? Do they see you on Facebook on Monday, and then they go 2 days later, and then they go on Google, then they search you up, and then they go into your website, then they go into your newsletter, and after the second or third email that you send them, that's when they do their first purchase? If that is the exact customer journey that gets you new customers and gets you the lowest cost per new customer coming through the door, then you need to optimize your marketing strategy for that. But if you don't have a tracking software, and if you don't have an attribution software, you will never understand, and you will never find out what is the exact customer journey. You can pretend that you know, you can guess that you know, but by guessing, that is basically doing marketing blindly. If you don't know your numbers, if you don't know the customer journey, and tracking becomes harder and harder the more you scale, right? So if you don't know your numbers and you're not tracking 100% correctly, it's going to be harder for you to understand where should you invest your resources, where should you invest your money, and where should you invest your time for your brand to scale. All right? That's going to be the second thing. The third thing, this is kind of a little bit similar, but it is for you to constantly find new customers for your brand to scale, you need a lower frequency in your ads. All right, so what does frequency mean? Frequency means the amount of times a person watches your ad. And a lot of these e-commerce brands that are doing over 50K per month is that they have a very high frequency on their ads. And what does that mean? That basically means that you are running ads towards customers that are going to buy either way. So in my opinion, you are basically burning ad spend because you're running ads towards customers that are going to buy either way. Well, you want to make more money, you want to scale your business, you want to get more new customers, and you also want to return a lot of your customers. I'm going to dive into that as well. But you need to understand that you can't spend money on customers that are going to buy either way. So you need to lower your frequency. How do you lower your frequency? You can have frequency rules on your Meta platform, on your Google platform, on your Snapchat platform to have lower frequency in your ads. So basically that means the platforms are currently finding people, new customers, and it's charging after new customers and going more completely broad. Even though you're testing broad in your advertising campaigns, the frequency can still be very high because what are Facebook doing? Facebook is showing the ads to the people that are more likely to buy. So a lot of times they're going to show the ad towards customers that has already bought many times, that are loyal customers. So Facebook is doing that to you to show that the return on ad spend is great, but a lot of times it's not when you're at that level in your e-commerce brand. So this is really important. Look at the frequency of your ads, try to lower it. If you can keep it at least maximum on a 2.5, that means like keep it lower than 2.5, it's gonna allow you to constantly find new customers. And if your return on ad spend is good, your click-through rate is good, and your frequency is low, that's a good sign. Then you got good ads. All right. So look at these different metrics that I just told you. All right, and write that down. All right, that's gonna be important. The next thing is better retention. Most e-commerce brands that we work with today has very low retention rate. If you can get a retention rate of 30%, so that means, for example, every time you get 100 new customers coming through the door, you know that 30% are going to come back within these next 6 to 9 months. If you have that KPI and you're doing that, that's really good. All right, that's exactly what you need to do here. So, but if you don't, if you have lower than 30%, it might be because you have products that you buy once and then you don't come back, right? That can be for some of you e-commerce brands that are out there that are going to be watching this video. But if you do then have that, you should already be creating strategies for different upsell possibilities. If you buy product X, you also need to buy product Y because that product fits with the product X, right? So you can do different upsell strategies later on, right? So you can get them on their email, you can get them into your flow after they've actually bought that first product from you, gotten that first order from you or for the customer. Now we want to make sure, how do we retain these customers? How do we make them come back? That can be either through email, it can be through SMS, it can be through actual calling the customer, guys. This is something that we're trying to implement for a lot of our e-commerce brands right now. People that are calling the customers, having conversations with them, right? That is what it's about. It's about returning and retaining your customers long term, because the cost of getting a new customer is always more higher than the cost of getting back an old customer, always. But if you don't have any products to return them with, and you don't have a product that cannot be on subscription for so on, it's going to be difficult, right? So what I would do, if you have a product, if you are an e-commerce brand that only has one product or products that you only buy once, for example, I would ask your customers, right? I would call them up. I would send a newsletter asking them, okay, what do you like about our products? Could we improve our products? What should we improve? And also the third question, if we were to get in a new product, what would that be? And then give them 5 to 10 different options, and then let your customers speak. Let your customers decide, and the winning product, that's the one you pick. Okay? So that's gonna be that. On to the fifth point here. It's gonna be the landing pages. Most of the e-commerce brands that I work with today are not testing enough product pages, are not testing enough landing pages, and this is going to be so important for you to scale. How can you constantly improve that conversion rate, little by little? I just had a chat with one of the biggest e-commerce brands, actually the number one biggest e-commerce company that sells blankets in the US, and they had a CRO guy, perfect guy, lovely guy, but what they did is that they currently they're testing different product pages every single day, all right, for different products. So if they are testing different product pages every single day, How many are you testing? And I know a lot of e-commerce brands are going to sit there and say, I haven't tested enough. I maybe set it up 2-3 times this year with maybe a few different offers. But what I mean is a lot of changes you can do. You can, instead of have pictures as product pages, you can have GIFs. Instead of GIFs, you can have videos. Instead of text reviews, you can have video reviews. And you can split test these different reviews. You can have an influencer on the front page. You can have an influencer on the product page. You can have an influencer, you can have a product title which stands influencer's favorite X product, X category, right? You can basically make it seem like this is the favorite product of this person. And for example, if you are a brand that is working a lot with UGC creators, and for example, you have an ambassador, for example, and you know that ambassador is driving a lot of the sales right now, use that person. So obviously, you have to have a chat with the ambassador. Use that person, use that influencer, use that ambassador, and put them on the product page. That could be like Emily's favorite coffee, right? With the picture of her holding the coffee, talking about the coffee, gifts that she is using and drinking the coffee, right? So use the influencers, because you need to remember, personal brand is so huge right now. And people buy from people that they like. We all do. People buy from people. People don't buy from companies, if that makes sense. So it's a lot of changes that you can do on the funnel in terms of your add to cart, in terms of your checkout. Understand where customers are falling off. And there's a lot of softwares out there that you can install into your e-commerce business to understand where customers fall off. Are they falling off in the add to cart? Are they falling off in the checkout? Is it because high shipping? What is it? You need to understand exactly where customers are falling off, and then you need to split test these different things, make these changes to your funnel and understand exactly where you can improve. And if you have enough traffic, if you're running enough ads and you're getting enough traffic into the store, you can actually split test different product pages every single day, right? So that's what I would do if I was you. How can you constantly improve that conversion rate into your winning products, right? It doesn't need to be a complete rebrand of your store, because what you're doing is already working. It's just about, again, like I said in the first lesson here, do more of what is working, do it better, and then test new things, right? And the last thing, as I have written here on my notebook, guys, focus on profits. Focus on profits. There's going to be a lot of e-commerce brands that are flexing 100K, 200K. We made this in Black Friday. We made this in Black Week. We made 100K. We made 200K in a day, right? But what is the profits here, right? The profits are the most important thing in a business. You want to make sure that you are keeping that at least 15%. At least the best key area, in my opinion, is 20% profit out of all the revenue that you have. That means if you keep it at 20% profit in that area, you are investing enough to grow, but you're not investing too much for you not to have the right profits. So 20% is the perfect spot. And if you are less than 20%, you need to focus more on profits. You might need to cut some costs in some different areas. But please, for God's sake, do not cut the costs on the most important things. I see a lot of e-commerce brands, the first thing that they do is that they cut off their marketing. They cut off their marketing agency, their growth partner agency, which is generating like basically 90% of the sales. Guys, be very aware on where you're cutting costs. All right. If you have a very valuable person in your team, do not cut them off. If you have a very valuable and high expense, but this expense is driving you a lot of traffic and they're loyal and they're going to stay with you for a long period of time, do not cut off this, right? So it's going to be focusing on profits, but of course, if your profits is too high, if it's 40, 50%, you need to start investing more. You need to invest more into ads. You need to invest more into content creators. You need to invest more in the right people that are going to allow you to scale, because most of you e-commerce brands out there know what you're doing. Like you already have the knowledge. You already have the information. What I talked about today, a lot of you have it, right? But it's about having the right team, the right systems, the right people, and the right place at the right time for you to scale, for you to 10x, for you to do more, for you to do better, for you to test new things. And marketing trends are coming up every single day. Every other day, every new day, there's a new TikTok trend, there's a new ad, there's a new possibilities. And us as a growth partner, us as a marketing agency now, have been helping a little bit over 150 different types of brands all over the world, is that we are currently seeing what is working today, what is working tomorrow. We are seeing what is driving the best amount of traffic, getting us the highest amount of sales for the best conversion rate. What landing pages are working the best, what ads are working the best, what content is working the best, what influencers are working the best, right? For different brands, for different niches. And that's the people you need to work with. That's the right key systems and the right people you need to have to scale. If you're going to 10x your profits, if you're going to 10x your revenue, these are going to be the right things that are going to allow you to scale, because you have the information, you have the knowledge, you just don't have the time, and you must delegate and free up your time for you to scale. So that is the exact steps and processes that are going to allow you to scale from 50K in your e-commerce store per month and scale that up to 100K, 200K, 300K per month, and make sure 20% of that at least is profits. All right. So if you are an e-commerce brand, you can click the link in below if you want to get a free performance review, which I'm going to be personally giving you. We are taking on 2 brands this month, not more, not less. That's going to be the exact spot. We're actually saying no to around 10 to 15 clients every single month, because we generally believe that we cannot help them. So if you want, I can give you a free performance review. You can book a call below. You can go through our website, and we'll take it from there. Peace.